all you Librans. Hello and welcome to your yearly horoscope for 2014 for you Librans, and it's going to be a bit the same like 2013, but with just one difference, that you will certainly the first half of the year you will have the feeling that you've got to do it, you've got to take the action, you've got to assert yourself in as best as possible. That is really key in 2014. You are a cardinal sign, which means a leader sign. You are a leader, and especially in 2014 you are going to take the lead of your own life. That is always a good thing. Now let's have a look what the outer planets are going to do. So as from Jupiter up until Pluto, but also what is Mars going to do. And normally I don't do this in the yearly horoscopes, but because Mars is only a month or two in a certain sign. But now Mars is going to stay as from January up until July in the same sign of your sign. So that's why it's hugely important for Librans. It's going to be a very important year for Librans, and I think you will remember this year as this is the year when I started this or when I started that. With having Mars for such a long time in your sign means that you are going to assert yourself in a certain way. And of course, in astrology, Libra is known as the sign that is considering other people, that is always thinking about what does this other person thinks about this or that, what does he or she wants to do. And this is really important for Libra because of the balance and because of the diplomacy, the equilibrium, the peace that is so important for a Libra. But certainly the first six months of the upcoming year, you will have to put that a little bit aside of you, because it means that Mars in your sign means that you need to take the action. You need to take the decision. And decision making isn't always easy for a Libra unless you have like 20 planets in Aries. But normally for a Libra, they always look at all sides, and that's why sometimes it gets a bit difficult to make a decision. So this is going to change, because you are going to feel the urge of acting. You are going to feel the passion inside of you to take the action. That is Mars in your sign for such a long time. So for Librans who have been a bit, let's say, out of action lately, or been a bit lazy, or been a bit how would I say, or just didn't have the opportunity to take action, this is going to change. For the ones who already are quite active, this is showing that it's going to be even more active in 2014, and especially the things that you want to initiate, that you want to do, and not depending, not all the time, but not depending too much upon other people, because it's you who's got to do it. That's basically what Mars in your sign is reflecting. And it activates this very interesting Pluto-Uranus square that a lot of astrologers, and certainly also me, have been talking about for quite a while. Pluto and Uranus wants us to transform, wants us to become more ourselves, wants us to become very true to ourselves. And that demands a lot of courage. And this courage you Librans will have. You know, it's reflected in this Mars being in your sign for such a long time. So you're going to grab all that courage together to do the things you've always wanted to do. Because when Mars is in your sign, it has to do with your path. It has to do with your life path, but it also has to do with your personal relationships. So because you take power and you take action to go forward, that's basically the clue of this energy. And in astrology, you have what we call houses. So we have 12 houses in our astrology, and also for you, Libra. And it means that we have 12 areas of our life that we can focus on. Now, there is something that we call in astrology key houses, the most important houses, the foundations. And it doesn't mean to say that the other houses are not important. It just simply says that these are like keys in our lives. And this is the first house, which is you, which you've got Mars there now for a very long time. Then it is the fourth house, which is your roots, which is where you come from, which is your identity, which is so very important for you Librans at the time, because you've got Pluto there. So there's a lot being transformed as well. Then the seventh house is also a key house, which is the other person. And then the 10th house is work. So it's no coincidence for the Librans that they don't have a dull life at the moment in 2014, because all the key houses are going to be activated. That demands again a lot of energy, but it seems that you're gonna have it with that Mars in your sign. That is energy. And it also means that for a lot of Librans, they are going to make shifts in those different houses. So as I said, Mars in your sign means you're gonna change the way that you act, the way that you profile yourself. Now, having Uranus in the opposite sign, in the sign of relationships, can mean different things. Especially if you have planets around, let's say, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 degrees of Libra. If you have planets there, or an ascendant, even a personal planet like Venus or Mars, this is going to be a very important year for you, because you've got Uranus in the 7th house, which means if you have been single for a long time or not a long time, this is huge chances that this is going to shift. You're going to attract the Uranus people, the Plutonian people. These are people who are different than you. These are people who can have different backgrounds than you, but certainly people that you normally wouldn't attract because they are so different from you. But actually they're showing you a mirror of freedom and showing you a mirror of getting rid of all the superstitious things in your life or people in your life. So this is actually a very good thing. But when you are in a relationship that is not really working out, and that is really asking a tremendous amount of compromising and you doing all the things in the relationships, and I mean, not you doing all the things, but you always saying, yes, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, there's going to be upheaval, because Mars in your sign is wanting to stand up for itself, but only when this is a negative situation that has been going on for quite a while. Then here it can mean that all of a sudden there can be this I've had enough of it, and then you can proceed. Then you can do two things: or you go away, or you change the way you relate to each other, starting with yourself. So that the relationship will stay the same is very unlikely with having Uranus in your 7th house, especially when you have a Libra rising sign. And again, if you didn't have any relationship, there is a shift coming on, and maybe Uranus will just give you enough courage to break through the fear that you have of maybe another relationship or other experiences that you had, and that makes you maybe a long period of being single. That has a reason, of course, and now there's time to shift that. For other Librans, it has more to do with Pluto. It has more to do with transforming the home, literally, or more on an inner level. So really changing a lot about your home, maybe renovating, maybe breaking it down and making a new home for you. And through that action, you transform yourself. Or it is very much on an inner level, that you go back to your roots, where you come from. And this is very important, what Pluto is in that 4th house. and that explains you and shows and brings things to the surface that you now understand. Doesn't matter when you're 20 or 60 when this happens. It always asks for or demands a transformation of your roots. So, and some of you may even, how difficult that it is, may even say goodbye to some pieces or some people of your roots because they hold you back in order to evaluate. Could be the case as well. Now, Jupiter has been in a very good position for you in Cancer in your 10th house, and it's still there up until July. So make use of the fact that Jupiter is there if you want to expand anything that has to do with work, if you want a new job, if you want a different job, if you want to do more teaching or more things that has to do with knowledge about a certain area of life, or giving knowledge to others. This is really favored during the 6 months of the year. And after that, Jupiter goes into your 11th house. So if you have a company of your own, you can start earning a bit more money out of it, or a lot more money out of it. That is good as well. So Jupiter goes into Leo as from July up until the end of the year, and that is your 11th house. This is really nice. Jupiter likes it in there in Leo in the 11th house is a house of having great goals for the future. So you can find meaning there as well, or just having new friends, new exciting Leo, very hearted, much friends from the heart that are very fiery but very loyal, and that give you a bit of a boost actually. And so probably new, very optimistic Jupiterian-like friends coming into your life as well, and supporting you and wanting the best for you and having good intentions with you. So Leo goes very well with Libra, so take advantage of those new people coming into your life. What else is going on for Libra? I think that is the most important thing. So staying with your own actions, staying with the own you, and certainly the first 6 months of the year. Another important thing is, normally I wouldn't mention this in your yearly horoscope, but it's the nodes. The nodes are going to shift, the North Node, into your sign, and that is already in February, I suppose. Yes, during the end of February, the North Node from Scorpio shifts into your sign of Libra. That means that is a good sign. It means that Libra is highlighted here, you are highlighted here, and for a lot of Librans who don't really know what their path is, this is going to become very clear in 2014, because it's going to stay there for a whole year. And so it also means when eclipses happen, your sign is going to be involved, and that will be in April, on 25 degrees of Libra. There's going to be a lunar eclipse, so things are going to come to a head when it considers you, or how you show yourself to the world. And in October there's another eclipse in Aries, which is your opposite sign, but it means that in relationships there are going to be some revelations there around October. So mind those two. April and October are going to be a bit of peak months for you Librans, and especially on those areas that I just talked about. So it's a mouthful, you know, I could go on and on, but I think that is the most important thing. Your ruler, which is Venus, is not going to go retrograde in 2014. That is good. That means that you're going very fast forward into, I'm just double checking, you're going very fast forward into actually 2014, and this is really, really good. And also when that eclipse is, Venus is going to be in your sign, so that is a very, very good sign for, you know, you can really make big changes in 2014. So wishing you all the best, you nice Librans. I wish you all the luck for 2014. Take advantage of the opportunities that are there. Okay, there will be a bit of a challenge with Pluto and Uranus, but the power is with you. Remember that. Mars is in your sign for such a long time, up until July. Take advantage of that. Thank you for watching and see you in the monthlies. Bye bye.